quarter seemed to disrupt your flow and your tempo?
They were being physical with us, and we weren't allowed to be physical on us other end. And it came all the way down to and so it kind of got us out of our game because we were expecting for the game to be called down the line, and they just let us know. They sent a message to us that it wasn't going to be that way.
In the fourth quarter, it appeared as though the refs allowed you to play on both sides.
Not necessarily. If you look at the last play, Candace caught the ball, and it's easy. You just look up the last play. The last play, Candace caught the ball and went left, and it's when they come and they talk to us and they say players have to be allowed to go from A to B. And you can see Elizabeth Williams push her off her path and then reach. Candace shot it over the backboard. That was a foul. That was a foul. So like I there's some things that I just don't understand. And so when I'm talking and I'm asking for stuff, I just want to understand it clearly because evidently I don't understand the game at all. I do not understand the game at all. And sometimes I feel like I need to go to basketball school to understand the game. Because when you have younger players that haven't been in this league and are able to get calls, and we have vets that are fouled and not able to get calls, I'm not blaming it on anybody. I'm just saying it makes me a little stumped, and I don't understand. I just don't understand basketball. I've been in it for a while, but I probably need to go back to school.
Thank you, Coach.
Just look at the last play.
James K.
Hey, Coach. The shooting woes kind of continue today. Did you like the looks that you were getting, or
what shooting woes? It's no shooting woes, man. We shot 46% against a good defensive team. We shot 91% from the free throw line, huh? We don't play at the 3-point line, so I don't care about that.
Okay.
Rebecca, I wish we'll stop talking about shooting woes. All right, I wish we'll stop talking about shooting woes. We're not. I mean, we shoot 46. We're fourth in the league in field goal percentage. Fourth, so we're in the top four of shooting percentage. So we're fine. We're the number one team as far as free throws are concerned. So we're fine. It's no shooting woes. All right, we'll get more free throws if we're attacking the basket. We'll get more free throws if everything is called the way it's supposed to be called, and there won't be any shooting woes.
Fair enough. Rebecca just continues to be that spark off the bench for you. What changes when she comes into the game where she's able to, on both ends of the floor, able to make a difference, where you're able to come back in some of these games and even close them like last game?
I think it's going to be known in a little while that she's a real basketball player, and she's a smart basketball player, and maybe she'll change her reputation. But right now, her reputation is kind of, people outside see it, but it's just she's not as respected as we would like her to be. But she gives us an energy boost.
Thanks, Coach.
Annie Costco.
James, it seemed like energy was a little low to start the game. How did you attempt to get your team back into it before the fourth quarter?
I coached them.
Any kind of conversation? I mean, in the first quarter, we kind of saw you, call a timeout, and it seemed like have a intense conversation. So anything specific that you said or did to try to get that energy back up?
No.
Thanks.
Mike Hughes.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, a disappointing loss to the game today.
It's not disappointing. It's not disappointing at all.
Right, but after taking 2 of 3 against Washington so far this season, what would you say in your 3 games against them that the team did the best?
Withstood what we were supposed to withstand and just fought to the end. It's bullshit, man.
All right. There's no more questions for James. We're all set.
Fuck.
Hey Rebecca, it seemed like energy was a little low to start the game, and you guys came back and really sparked in the fourth. What would you say contributed to maybe that slow start through the first three quarters?
Well, I think it's just about us coming out and having that energy. You know, I think the Mystics were really motivated to beat us because this was our third time playing them. So we have to realize that we do have that target and we have to bring the intensity and energy for 40 minutes. So that things like that won't happen and they won't go on those type of runs.
All right, thanks.
Mm-hmm. Kelly left.
James K.
Hey, Rebecca, thanks for your time. Ariel Atkins just put together a really nice performance tonight with 1975. I mean, what did you see from her as someone, who was in the backcourt for this guy?
So you said, what do we see from her? Can you repeat the last part one more time?
Yeah. Just like, what did you see from her tonight where she was just able to get to her spots just as someone who had to defend her at points?
Yeah, I mean, she's a great player. And I, like I said before, I believe that they were pretty motivated to beat us. And I don't think the first two games, Ariel Atkins had her best game. So I'm sure she was ready to come out and play well, play hard. And I mean, you just have to give credit. She did well tonight.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Mm-hmm. I just got here.
I could have totally lifted the chair.
You can move my backpack.
Oh my god, I can't. Just get the back.
Yeah, move that.
What?
It's, oh my goodness.
Mike Hughes.
Hey Candace, despite tonight's tough loss, you still finished taking 2 out of the 3 in Washington and did so by dominating the way you have. You had 16, 12, and 16, and not to flex the triple-double again, but you definitely played very well. So despite the tough call in the final minute of the game, can you just kind of talk about how you've approached so far with Washington and what you've been doing to dominate?
I mean, I think we're a team that's going to be in a lot of games. I mean, we've been in every game we've lost. So, I just think it's the moments in the middle that we have to fix where those are the possessions that I think we can take care of that we want at the end. So for me personally, I mean, we beat a great team twice. We were hoping to get a third one. But there again, it's still, 11 games in. And we have so much room for improvement. So I think I just look to that.
And obviously, James had a comment at the end of the game about how he felt about the final call. Do you have any comment about the officiating at the end of the game?
You're trying to get me not to be able to buy my son diapers. I'm not. Nope. No. My daughter go to the private school. My son needs some diapers and some milk. Nope. Not taking my money.
Thank you, Candace.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Wilson.
Candace, just overall, it seemed as though the second and third quarter, the team lost their tempo. Was that just, I mean, what was the reason? Because it seems like in the first quarter, you played a very fast pace, your style of game. Second and third quarter seemed to slow down a bit. And then you had to come from a double-digit point deficit to bring yourselves back to almost winning this game tonight. So,
honestly, I think it was tempo, but also I think we look at the result as opposed to we were up by 5 with 3 minutes to go, I believe, in the second quarter. Now, don't quote me, but I think it was something like that. And then we fouled 3 straight possessions, put them to the line, and they were up 5 at half. So we take those fouls out. We don't turn the ball over. And I think it's a different ball game. But at the end of the day, basketball is a game of runs. We're not going to be able to always impose our will on a team. We have to sometimes gut it out and fight through those moments. And I think we did. I think we put our foot on the gas. I mean, we won we tied. I don't know. Well, we lost 3 quarters and lost by 2. So I mean, I definitely think it's tempo, but I also think it's like getting through that.
So with a bunch of leaders on your squad, then the question becomes, how do you overcome that?
We did. It was a one possession game at the end of the game. So I think, yeah, like the expectation obviously is for us to play better and to play well, but also like teams are going to go on runs. Like they lost us twice. They're going to come out with fire and energy. They rebounded well, but we turned the ball over. So we have to control those things. And I think in those moments, you know,
Fair enough. Thank you.
James Kay with the Chicago Tribune.
just does something for your skin.
Hey Candace,
I think I have a filter.
you know, Khalid Copper, I mean, you notice that this team is playing with more tempo over the last few games, and she, I think, now leads the WNBA in fast break points per game in just a short period of time. I mean, what does it do for the offense just having someone like her to be able to get out in the break where you and Sloop can find her?
Does a lot. I think Ka and then Beck being able to get out on the break. I mean, that's the way we want to play, but like teams know we want to play like that. So I think Ka has always done an amazing job of getting out on the break. Beck has always done an amazing job of getting out on the break. But now I think they're playing really well in the half court as well. So.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, I'm curious. Just speaking of the half court, I mean, Shakira Austin, you defended her a lot. I mean, you've played 3 games with her so far. I mean, what have you seen from her so far early on in her WNBA career?
No, she's a great player. You know, obviously, I love, you know, I say this, and Coach T always finds a way to draft, you know, those type of players where you know that they're going to be great. He drafted Kalia Copper, so obviously I'm partial with that. But, you know, her being in the system and being able to play under him, I think is a huge advantage for her individually, because I think he's going to, you know, provide her with the tools to be successful in this league.
Thanks, Candace.
Annie Gospel with the Sun Times.
Drop it.
Candace, can you, I know you kind of mentioned you're not trying to get fined or you don't really want to talk about the officiating, but can you just walk us through that final play, and are you happy with that look, and how much confidence do you have in those moments, the game on the line, sending it to overtime, you know, going for the win even?
To be honest with you, I normally have a clock in my head in terms of like when the clock starts, I count at the end of the game, and I didn't. And so I didn't really know how much time I had. We can debate whether the previous possession was a foul, whether that one was a foul. But getting to my left hand, going left, you know, I'll take it. So I feel like I got into the lane. If I had it to do over, maybe I would have shot, you know, my patent fade away off of 1 foot, or known that the contact was coming and been able to go in. But anytime I'm able to get to that left hand, I think I rushed it a little bit because I didn't know the time. But listen, I'll let y'all talk about the officials. I'm not going to.
Then last thing, that fourth quarter comeback, how much confidence do both of you guys have in this team's offensive ability to spark runs like that and put yourself in the position to win late?
Go ahead, Beck.
I answered so. I mean, we just have so many weapons like at every position. So like as long as we, you know, stay in the game and keep up the defensive intensity, I feel like offense will come, and I feel like that's what we've seen tonight.
Same. I always believe in this team constantly. Even when we're down 20, I know we are capable of coming back. So like I said, basketball is a game of runs, and I think sometimes we focus so much on that instead of the next play, and we got to just, you know, bounce back.
Thank you both.
Yep.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us. Hope you have a great rest of your night.
Thanks, Kelly.